Welcome to Lesson 3. We left off where Socrates trapped Gorgias into that idea that, no, Gorgias, you're responsible. If you teach students and they do the wrong things, then you're a bad teacher, because rhetoric is about doing the right things. So if you don't teach them to do the right things, you're a lousy teacher. That's where we left off. So now the question is, well, what does Socrates think about rhetoric? So far, Socrates has been asking Gorgias all the questions. Now some of the people jump in and say, well, wait, Socrates, let's hear your opinion on the thing. So we get Polus that's going to come in, and he's going to question Socrates. And Socrates is now going to give us his idea of what rhetoric is.
Then what, in your opinion, is rhetoric? A thing which, as I was lately reading in a book of yours, you say that you have made an art. Well, what thing? I should say a sort of experience. Of what profession? I am afraid that the truth may seem discourteous, and I hesitate to answer lest Gorgias should imagine that I am making fun of his own profession. For whether or no this is that art of rhetoric which Gorgias practices, I really cannot tell. From what he was just now saying, nothing appeared of what he thought of his art, but the rhetoric which I mean is a part of a not very creditable whole.
Here's just another great moment where we get Socrates' attitude, because they're asking him, Socrates, what do you think rhetoric is? And he says, I could tell you what I think rhetoric is, but, my friend Gorgias right here, he claims to be a rhetorician, and I think rhetoric is not a very good thing. In fact, I think it's kind of stupid. So if I tell you what I think about it, I'm afraid I'll hurt his feelings. And I don't want to hurt his feelings because I don't want to make him feel stupid. So Socrates is just, he's egging this on here, saying, what you do is stupid, and I don't want to hurt your feelings by talking about how stupid it is. Well, Gorgias goes on to say, go ahead, Socrates. I can take your argument. So here goes. The argument continues.
A part of what, Socrates? Say what you mean and never mind me. Well, in my opinion then, Gorgias, the whole of which rhetoric is part is not an art at all, but the habit of a bold and ready wit which knows how to manage mankind. This habit I sum up under the word flattery. And it appears to me to have many other parts, one of which is cookery, which may seem to be an art, but as I maintain is only an experience or routine and not an art. Another part is rhetoric, and the art of attiring and sophistry are two others. Thus there are 4 branches and 4 different things answering to them. What part of flattery is rhetoric? Will you understand my answer? Rhetoric, according to my view, is the ghost or counterfeit of a part of politics. And noble or ignoble? Ignoble, I should say, if I am compelled to answer, for I call what is bad ignoble, though I doubt whether you understand what I was saying before. Indeed, Socrates, I cannot say that I understand myself.
So what did Socrates call rhetoric? He calls it a flattery, which means it's a word for fake, or something that is just trying to get you to believe something that doesn't really exist. It's a fake thing. And when he says, is it noble or ignoble? Socrates says, excuse me, I couldn't talk very well. Is it noble or ignoble? Socrates says it's ignoble, which means it's bad. Like rhetoric, according to Socrates, is a bad force. It's a bad skill. You shouldn't use rhetoric, because there's that danger that you're going to get people to believe things that are wrong. So Socrates is going to go on and explain this more, but Socrates has a very bad opinion of rhetoric. Now, what is rhetoric? It's just that ability to persuade people, kind of lawyer talk. And even now, sometimes we don't have a very good opinion of lawyers, because we kind of have that idea that lawyers are crooked or sneaky. They try to get you to believe things that aren't true with their words and the way they can twist things around. Socrates has that same opinion of lawyers, and he's going to debunk it and show people why it's stupid.
Well, I do not wonder, Gorgias, for I have not as yet explained myself, and our friend Polus, colt by name and colt by nature, is apt to run away. Never mind him, but explain to me what you mean by saying that rhetoric is the counterfeit of a part of politics. Well, I will try then to explain my notion of rhetoric, and if I am mistaken, my friend Polus shall refute me. We may assume the existence of bodies and souls? Of course. You would further admit that there is a good condition of either of them? Yes. Which condition may not be really good, but good only in appearance? I mean to say that there are many persons who appear to be in good health and whom only a physician or trainer will discern at first sight not to be in good health. True. And this applies not only to the body, but also to the soul. In either there may be that which gives the appearance of health, and not the reality. Yes, certainly. And now I will endeavor to explain to you more clearly what I mean. The soul and body, being two, have two arts corresponding to them. One, medicine, and in politics there is a legislative part, that which answers to gymnastic, as justice does to medicine. And the two parts run into one another, justice having to do with the same subject as legislation, and medicine with the same subject as gymnastic, but with a difference. Now, seeing that there are these four arts, two attending on the body and two on the soul, their highest good, two attending on the soul for their highest good, flattery, knowing, or rather guessing their natures, has distributed herself into four shams, or simulations of them. She puts on the likeness of some one or the other of them, and pretends to be that which she simulates. Cookery simulates the disguise of medicine, and pretends to know what food is the best for the body. And if the physician and the cook had to enter into a competition, in which children were the judges, or men who had no more sense than children, as to which of them best understands the goodness or badness of food, the physician would starve to death.
So I do want to stop here for a second. This will take a little bit longer, but I want to make sure that you understand the connection that Socrates just made. He says that there are true things and then there are fakes. The true things actually do what's good. The fake things pretend to do what's good. So what's the first one that he makes? He makes the connection with, and I think I'm going to put something magical up here on the board so you can see it. Maybe not. Maybe you'll look at me a little bit longer. He makes the connection between cookery and medicine. Medicine is the real thing. When you take good medicine, it will really make you healthy. Cookery, maybe you can think of it like baking brownies, baking cookies. That's the fake. When you eat a brownie, you're like, that's good. That makes me feel really good. But is it really making you healthy? No, it's a fake. It pretends to make you feel good when it's not really making you healthy. So that's the real and the fake. Medicine really makes you healthy. Cookery makes you feel good, but doesn't really make you healthy. And he does say this. He says, if we got a bunch of kids in a room and we had a doctor here who said, if you take this medicine, it's really good for you. And you get another guy in here, a chef, who says, what, if you eat this candy, it's really good for you. Who's going to win? The doctor who says, eat this yucky medicine, this will make you healthy? No, the doctor's not going to win. All the kids are going to go, ooh, 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 I want the candy. Give me the candy. I want the candy. So, with ignorant people that don't really understand what's right, they'll go for the thing that feels right but isn't. They'll say, oh yeah, candy makes me feel good. It must be good for me. So he's going to use this for the same form of rhetoric. He says that there is justice. Justice is the real thing. Justice is when the right things actually happen and people understand right, and that's actually really good for you. But rhetoric is the fake. Rhetoric is a skill that makes people feel like they're doing the right thing, but it might not actually be the right thing. So just like cookery, medicine, oh, did I mix that up? Let's do it this way. Medicine, cookery, right? Medicine's the real one. Cookery is the fake one. It's the same thing. Justice is the real one that really makes you healthy. But rhetoric is the fake one. I'm going to sneeze. We'll see if I cut that out or not. Probably won't, because, how often do you get to see a teacher sneeze? It's kind of fun. The other examples that he does use, he uses physical fitness. Like if you go out and work your body and work it, that really makes you look good. Your body is healthy. Your body is in good form. He says the fake for that is fancy clothes. You can put on fancy clothes that make you look all regal and make you look all special, but really you're not that special. If you take care of your body, then that's good. If you just cover up, if you just try to make your body look good with fake stuff, then that's not so good. That's just the fake version. So real version is actually be physically fit. Fake version is put on clothes that make you look good. So real versions, fake versions, that's his argument. And he says that rhetoric is the fake version of justice, which is the really helpful thing. Oh, that wasn't long enough. Let me add one more thing. I just want to explain some of the words. Tiring, that's attire, that's your clothes. So that's what it means by fashion. Gymnastics is not that sport that the University of Utah does really well at. Gymnastics is actually, just think of it as physical fitness. So whenever Socrates says tiring, that means he's talking about clothes and fashion. Whenever he says gymnastic, that means he's talking about physical fitness, being fit.
Cookery, then, I maintain to be a flattery which takes the form of medicine, and tiring, in like manner, is flattery, which takes the form of gymnastic, and is knavish, false, ignoble, illiberal, working deceitfully by the help of lines and colors and enamels and garments, and making men affect a spurious beauty to the neglect of the true beauty, which is given by gymnastic. I would rather not be tedious, and therefore I will only say after the manner of the geometricians, for I think that by this time you will be able to follow. As tiring is to gymnastic, cookery is to medicine. Or rather, as tiring is to gymnastic, sophistry is to legislation. And as cookery is to medicine, rhetoric is to justice. What do you mean? Do you think that rhetoric is flattery? Nay, I said a part of flattery. If at your age, Polus, you cannot remember, what will you do by and by when you get older?